being a finalist for the Masterson Trophy? What's that mean to you?
Obviously it's a great honor. I mean, I'm humbled by it. It's just hard to reflect because there's so many things that go into it, and you never really feel like you're deserving of stuff like that. You just play the game because you love it and you love this group, and I'm honored to be the captain of this team and to lead this team. But I'm lucky to have guys that want to listen and follow along too. So you reflect after, but it's a huge honor, and I'm humbled and look forward to it.
Yeah, and the good thing is you don't have time to reflect right now because you're right in the middle of things.
Exactly, and that's fun. I mean, that's where I want to be. So I'm really looking forward to what we can do here to refocus and get ready to go for the second round, and that's my job right now. And all the other stuff hopefully will come with it. The big shiny tinny thing that I'd like to see more than anything. But yeah, no, we're really looking forward to the opportunity we've given ourselves. We know it's going to be even harder, and we're excited about that challenge and looking to really continue to become that good team that we talked about. We just want to get better every day, and today we had a chance to do that. Tomorrow we'll come back and do the same thing.
What were your immediate impressions when you heard that Matt Duchene had been acquired here?
I think we were all pretty excited. Just you look at his track record, how many games he's played in the NHL, World Championship, Olympics, all that sort of thing, and just you knew that he was obviously a very dynamic player and a guy that could help our team.
Talk about his development since he got here. I mean, has he always been steady, great, and just the numbers started showing up in the...
I mean, he wasn't a liability out there, but I think it took him probably a little bit to get adjusted to new teammates, new coaching staff, line mates. No matter how skilled guys are, it's always going to take a little bit to get acclimated to. So it might have been what he would say a slower start as far as putting up points, but he's obviously playing his best hockey for us when we need him the most.
Cam, you guys are in uncharted territory right now. You went from never having won a playoff round to sweeping one and now having a lot of days left before you even know who you're playing next. What's the challenge in these days to stay ready and keep the momentum that you had in the first series?
Yeah, it's one of those things where uncharted territory, and we do have a lot of time, and not that it's going to be hard to, but it's going to take a little bit just to try to get your energy and your emotion back involved into, I guess, playing games. But it was we had a couple days off and a pretty good practice day. We'll be better, sharper tomorrow, and continue to get better every day.
What were those couple days off like for you? Just to get away from it and maybe just look back on what you got done.
Yeah, I try to live in the moment, in the present, and not look toward the past. It was a good series, but we moved on and focusing on who we have to play next, and enjoy the days just with family and relax. And it was good to get back on the ice today.
You have a lot of people talk to you maybe even more in the last couple of days if you're out and about?
Yeah, I mean, I try to stay around my house the past couple of days and just, just relax and, walk around the block. But, yeah, it's good. It's good to see all the support throughout the community, and we're going to need that going forward.
There's a little bit of a difference of opinion on what you might do tonight watching Game 5. If you would watch it, if you wouldn't watch it, do you care, do you not care? You've seen both the teams. How do you look at that? Do you want to watch it at all? Do you want to watch it as a fan or watch it from a critical eye?
I like watching playoff hockey, especially no matter who's playing. I'll be sure to tune into the game, but I'm not going to be glued to the TV. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where I think everyone loves watching playoff hockey, and whatever happens, right?
Is it a little different watching the game going, these are one of the two teams that we're going to play next?
I don't really look at it that way. I mean, you're going to be facing a good team regardless, so, you just hope that they beat each other up pretty good. But they're both obviously very good teams, so whoever we face, it's going to be a battle.
Phenomenal singing, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
People were freaking out about that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
As you've gathered yourself, you were talking the other night about embracing the memories of that series and looking forward to having that to fuel you forward. Now that you've had a couple of days to do that, How will it fuel you moving forward as you look back?
Well, I think we talked about it today. This is kind of the toughest time where we're kind of waiting around, and you want to guard against being too laid back and relaxed because we do have quite a bit of time in between. That's human nature to kind of take your foot off the gas, even just because you're just because you're in practice, you can't do that. So I thought the boys worked hard today, and I think the biggest thing is just every day, thinking about the way we played in that series and kind of, putting that in a mental place that we can get to really quickly in the next series.
What were the strengths of the series that you can draw on moving forward? If you can point to a couple things that you, as a squad, did well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail about the way we played. I think we'll keep that internally, but I think the biggest thing that we did was just we committed to our game plan, and it wasn't, we didn't have one passenger in here. There wasn't one guy who didn't play their best hockey in that series, and there was a different hero every night or set of heroes each game, and guys came up in big moments, and that's what it takes. I mean, you're not going to have one or two guys, three guys carry you through a whole playoff run and you expect to win. It just doesn't work that way. You need everyone going. It's such a team oriented time of year, and that's what we had in the first round. So that was really fun to watch. It was so fun to watch different guys step up, and it brings everyone together.
When you are sitting and waiting for an opponent, like they play tonight, for example, do you watch it?
Absolutely.
Do you watch it from a critical coaching standpoint, or just watch it as a fan, essentially?
I mean, it's tough to sit down and really dial it in. It's not like you get your notepad out and anything, but we know those teams. I mean, I've played against Boston 5 times this year, twice with Ottawa and then 3 times here and very recent. So I mean, they're fresh in a lot of our minds, and I know the guys played, like we all played against Toronto this year, so we kind of know what those teams bring, and we'll have time before the series to whoever we play to break it down. Obviously, it's a pick your poison situation, 2 really good teams, but we believe in ourselves in here, and we'll be ready for whoever we get.
Matt, have you been able to get out in the community a little bit the past couple of games and get a sense for what you guys have done has meant to Columbus?
Yeah, I've been out a little bit, but I think the coolest thing was from the moment I set foot in the city, the support that you felt from people, and how nice everyone has been and welcoming you to the city, whether it's me or my wife or whatever, and it's. I've said it many times. The passion of this city is incredible, and something you don't really know until you're here. And I mean, that game 4, that's the loudest building I've ever played in. So that was pretty awesome.
Did it take you to the playoffs to get comfortable here? Or I mean, what?
No.
How did that?
No. Everyone just wants to look at numbers and think it's all about that. But I mean, our team we all played at a different level in the playoffs. We started to play, I think, even when we made the playoffs, I think we were still firing at maybe, 85%, and I think to a man, everyone, I still think the best thing that happened to us was that 3-0 deficit in game 1. I think it just loosened us up mentally and just allowed us to, let go of maybe some of the pressure we were feeling of the team we had here and just play hockey and that goal that Nick scored in game 1. I think that was what set us up.
John, with a sweep comes a lot of time off. What is the challenge as far as keeping the guys physically and mentally engaged before you get into the days of actually getting ready for an opponent?
And that's what it is, a challenge. That's our job as coaches, to try to do this the right way with the cooperation of a team that should feel good about itself, but also know that there's plenty of work ahead of us here.
You don't have a team to prepare for yet, or you just focusing more internally and just cleaning up things from the last series, or how do you approach not having a team to focus for?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how we're going to practice.
So how beneficial is this when you've got 3 defensemen out, just having this gap here where maybe you can get some guys healthy?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you go into playoffs, I think all teams are looking to get to the end goal, which takes a couple of months. I think when you have a shorter series mixed in with it, it helps you in those situations. Certainly us. We have some guys that are nicked up, and some guys that even practice today that are nicked up. That'll help. But it's a big challenge for the coaching staff. I'm concerned as we move forward here, just to make sure. Some guys haven't been involved in this situation before. we have just, it's a big part of our job as coaches to make sure we do this the right way to get prepared for our next opponent.
As a coach, you've had one sweep before?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't remember which year it was, but I don't know if that experience had anything in that you thought you could do differently from
No, I mean, I have had, whether it be a sweep or not, I don't know what was sweeps, but there have been a number of days that I've experienced through series as you're in the playoffs that you have to go about your business. And I have some thoughts. We have laid out the schedule for them, at least the next 4 days, and we're going to go about it that way. So I think it has to be cooperation from both sides, cooperation from the coaches in knowing that they feel good and you want them feeling good, but also coaches making sure the players is a fine line there about getting our work done the proper way here too.
What do you think the level of this team's self-belief is now, having done what they did in the first round? I hear a lot of guys using the phrase "sky's the limit." Do you feel like this team has a new level of trust and belief in how good it can be?
Well, they should. I don't think we'll get anything accomplished if you don't have a collective belief. Is a very dangerous thing. You can get a lot of things accomplished, but a collective belief. It's something we talked about through the series. So I think when you win a series, that certainly helps you in cultivating that mind. Our biggest hurdle is our mind. Are we willing to put the work in now during the off days and making sure we are ready, but also understanding that we do have a few days here to lick our wounds, I guess. But then when the series starts, it gets ramped up even more. So the mental part of the game is huge during playoffs. I think we crossed a hurdle, but there are many other hurdles in front of us here.
You told a story the other day that you loved the fact that on the bench guys were saying, getting on their guys about.
They were pissed. They were pissed. Some guys weren't back checking. Yes.
Did you hear that through the course of the season, or was that rare? Or
No.
That was very rare.
Yeah, it was rare. At least for maybe, I don't know. I just didn't hear it much during the regular season. And I mean, the stakes are high. This is important stuff. We got to be really careful. And I know, and I don't want to minimize a team winning a round for the first time. I know that's around us. I understand that. That's great that you're able to feel that we've made a step in the right direction. But do you want more? And that's the mindset we have to have. Do you want more, and you're willing to put the work in to get more? Because quite honestly, I think it just starts now. I mean, the first round's first round. Now we should be a team thinking, okay, that's done. Now, are we willing to put the time in? And some guys have not had this experience of what you have to do to get ready for the second round.
And coupling on that, you're getting a lot of people getting a lot of pats on the back, right? Well, along with the fact that you beat the team that everyone thought, well, that's going to be the toughest team to beat. That's another part.
And I get that too. I'm not stupid. I know that's out there. I mean, it has to be out there. I get that. But okay, understand it was. I mean, that last game, our elimination game, it was a blast. It was fun. It was fun in the locker room. But we can't have fun all the time here, because you can have fun, but also mix it in with the proper mindset as far as working. And that's our challenge. And I'm not trying to overstate it. Yesterday I thought about it all day long. I left the game alone for one day, and I thought about it yesterday, and I got nervous right away thinking about it. As far as our challenge ahead of us here, because if we want to keep going. I mean, I can't put it any other way.
John, you got a lot of credit for the game planning last series. A, how personally sad, I know it's a player's game, but how personally satisfying is that for that part of it? And B, how much do you enjoy the chess game that goes on this time of year? I mean, as a coach.
I don't play chess. I don't play chess during this time of year. And I'm going to say it to you again. All coaches are guidance counselors. We try to guide them down the right road. They're the ones that put on the uniform every day and get the things done. So I just don't look at it that way. They're the ones that have to handle the surges in the games. They're the ones that have to, after being beat up in a game and just skate the soreness out the next day, go play the next game. So this is the player's game. I think our job is to guide them, and that's my biggest nervousness now is I want to guide them the right way to get ready for the second series, and then it's their game. So
I get that, but is there what about the blueprint? There has to be a blueprint that you give them.
That's being a guidance counselor. That's just we talk. My daughter's a reading specialist. She brings a lesson plan in. She talks with her kids. They talk about how they're going to go about doing it. We're doing the same thing at this level, but they're the ones that have to take it and go with it. So our job is just making sure we stay on top of our team and making sure we're giving them the right information. It's easy to give information. It's really easy to give information. It's applying that information. And that's where I do. I have a tremendous amount of respect for the team as far as how they handle themselves through that first round. But it's one damn round.
Did today's practice make you less nervous, John?
No, not at all.
John, Brandon Dubinsky's role has evolved. How has he adapted to that? How would you assess his season and his playoffs?
I think Doobie is. See, I like what I think he's done. I really like what he's done. But if you ask the player, he wants to be put in more situations than he is, and I think that's always going to happen between a coach and a player. But no matter if he likes it or not, he has concentrated and has been the best he can be in the situations I put him in. So I have a true respect for a year, last year, with all the going on there, and where it all went to, and how he's come back in here focused, and just each day has gone about his business. So and this is a young man. He's a man now. I knew him when he was a kid. And I've watched him develop, and I'm proud of him as far as how he handles himself right now. He's a great family guy. You can see that he's matured over the years, and I think he is really just had put no distractions from him. No matter if he likes it or not, he's going to do the best he can do, and I respect that.
You're smiling as you talk about him.
Well, I've had a lot of things go on with Doobie, and I have gone through a lot together, a lot, and a lot of it bad, a lot of it good. But I've been with him so long. I think coaches have a chance sometimes to sit back and watch, see where he has gone from at such a young age in New York with me, and just an absolute idiot, to where he is now and how he's matured. And yeah, so I that's what coaches hang their hats on, or at least enjoy watching, is seeing that development.
John, Matt Duchene, he seems like he's having such a good time these days. Did he have to reach a level of comfort here, or how do you explain his play in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think you have to ask him about that. I think Dutchie has come in from the get-go, no matter if he's put up numbers or not, in certain situations, has played hard, has been very coachable. I've asked him to work away from the puck, and I watch that every game, the concentration he's putting into trying to play away from the puck. So he hasn't missed a beat with me. Now, when it comes down to the numbers and the team was losing, coinciding with them coming in there, I don't totally agree. That's why everybody talks about it takes a little while to get everybody together. I don't believe that was our problem. I just think there were other things going on, and we were struggling that time. So I don't put the onus on the new guys coming in there and us trying to filter them into our team. So I enjoy being around the guy because I think he likes talking hockey. I watch him with the other coaches. I watch him before games go see Manny and talk about the goaltender. I think he's a student of the game. So he hasn't missed a beat with me since he's been here.
When Texier came up, did you speak to John Madden at all about him?
No.
You didn't have any conversation?
Not with Mads. I had talked to Yarmo.
Okay.
Yeah, Yarmo and I talked to Yarmo. Yarmo had talked about Tex even before he came over to North America. And so that's the man I talk with about Tex.
Do you have a sense you were going to get Texier even before he got to Cleveland, that he would be here with you at some point?
Well, again, like I said, I think our scouts have have done a great job in some of the guys, and this is a guy that Yarmo had talked to me for quite a while before he even came over. There was certainly, as I said to you guys, when it comes to this time of year, time's up for developing players. It's who the best 20 are going to be, and he certainly was in the conversation, judged on what Yarmo evaluated him at. And I've said many times, I trust his evaluation.
There were moments in the
past series where you could see the impact Josh Anderson had on them, frustrating them. In Game 3, they were coming after him in waves. They wanted to try to eliminate them. How critical is his role, not only in that series, but moving forward? How critical is he to being a problem?
Yeah, it's a great question because, you talk about me just in my mind with how we have to get ready for the next series. He comes to the forefront for me. And where I think Josh, and I have to give him credit, I think he's really improved on his consistency and how he has to play. I've always said I think it gets good to Josh at certain times and he forgets who he is as a player. I think that's been few and far between now. It's very important as we start this second series, whoever it is, that he is who he is. At the end of the year, he was getting to be a little bit too much of a skilled guy and forgot about the other part of his game. That's so important in playoffs. And I do. I thought some of the early hits on Hedman and players like that were crucial in that series. So you talk about coaches being concerned about the team. He is one of them right on the top of my list. And I shouldn't say I'm worried. I just want to make sure we remind him. And I think he has been, I think his mind's been in a really good spot. He's so important to this club in playoff hockey. No update.
I didn't see Jenner out there today.
Maintenance. Yeah. Maintenance. Yeah.
John, you referenced about a month ago there was a lot of angst with this team and what's going on. The coaching is part of that, and now here you are today. A lot of fans think Torts is a genius, right? For the
You're really banging away at me, aren't you?
I'm making,
yeah.
Are you amused, or does it bother you when you hear this stuff about how a coach suddenly he's lost it? I mean, a coach doesn't get dumb overnight, right?
I don't. Quite honestly, I'm not. If that's what was going on, I don't really read it or listen to it. I don't.
Right.
And that's a coach's world. It's not just my world. It's the coach's world. That's part of it. And if I ever have to worry about what people think of me, one way or another, that's a crappy way to live for a coach. So I don't pay much attention to it. The guys I answer to are those 23 players in that locker room. No one else. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to fans and all that. I can't worry about what you think of me. I can't. Because those are the guys I answer to. So that's what my total focus is. So whatever was going on, good or bad, I don't know what to say because I really don't. I don't know.
John,
I'll plead
I
dumb.
don't know if you're ready to laugh about this yet or not, but when you're a coach and you give that speech you gave before Game 1, that fired everybody up, whoever watched or listened to it, and your team goes out and falls behind 3-0, are you thinking, "Holy Lord, what did I say? What did I do?"
No.
I mean, were you
No.
confused
No.
in hindsight now? Or?
No, I wish the camera was never in there. First of all, and no, because I said what I thought, and I still believe that. I think it's such a mindset that you have to have collectively, and not worry about how you match up on paper. And I think that's if we're going to keep proceeding here, and be competitive and maybe win, that collective mindset has to be that strong in belief.
And the sentiment that you addressed in that was exactly what played out. That's how your team played.
Well, I do. I think I said to you after. I think the most important time in that Game 1 was Nick getting us back in, or Bob making the save first, and Nick getting us back in. That's how quickly things can turn. But when you start grouping together, that belief. It's so important. X's and O's, the physical traits and all that, they're important. You got to have a game plan. You got to be able to have some skill and all that stuff. But in a series against the same team for 7 games, it is a belief. It is a mindset. Especially the situation we're in, where we just get no respect, and that's fine. We're just going to go about our business and try to do it the right way. And you get a little success, and I think that strengthens your belief in how we're going about it.
John, Bob's name wasn't even mentioned until a couple minutes ago. The fact that it's not a topic of conversation now, that he did win a playoff series, played very well in doing that, how important do you think that is for him and the mindset of the team?
Well, I think you have to ask Bob, because it's his mind, but I'm proud of Bob, because I do. And I'm not saying some of the questions about playoffs and stuff like that is wrong. I've never backed away from that. I've asked the questions too about him, and I think it's a fair question as we've gone through over the years. I think Bob has basically for one round here given you the finger, and really I just think he's handled himself so well. And remember, all of us, we were all a little nervous in that first period, including Bob. He may not want to admit to it, but he did. But he grabbed himself. So that is cool to watch, an athlete. And to me, it's here. That is really cool to watch an athlete that where people kind of poking at him step up to the plate in a fashion that he's right there. And he played some outstanding third periods for us. I think some of the periods I thought we played really well in front of him, but when we needed him at key times, he stood in there, and I'm proud of him. I am, but I say that very carefully because we just started, and I think Bob feels that way too. So yeah, I've always loved his preparation. I'm glad he has something to stand on right now to get him ready for the second round.